Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhare Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhare Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everybody. Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Jaya Gauranitai 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 Shishi Gauranitai 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 Shishi Gauranitai Jai Jagannath, Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for coming and for watching us online as well. We today continue to read Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 4th chapter, entitled Characteristics of Rishabhadeva, Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's just beginning of chapter, today's 2nd verse. So this Sanskrit, just one line. I don't know how to read this, just by words. Yeah. We read together or just I read? I just read. I read. Tasya ha. I just first me. Tasya ha va idham varshmana vartyasa brihach lokena kaujasa balena shriyayas yashasa virya saurabhyam chapita rishabha itidam namachakaram. And word by word translation. Shri Jagannath Baladev Padar ki jai, Shri Gorentai ki jai, Pujari ki jai. Tasya, of him, Hava, certainly, Idham, thus, Varshmana, by the bodily features, Vartyasa, most exalted, Brihach Lokenam, decorated with all the high qualities described by poets.
Decorated with all the high qualities described by poets.
Cha, also. Ojasa, by prowess. Balena, by strength. Shriya, by beauty. Yashasa, by fame. Virya Saryabhyam, by influence and heroism. Cha, and Pita, the father Maharaja Nabhi. Rishabha, the best. Iti, thus. Idam, this. Nama, name. Chakaram, gave. Translation. When the son of Maharaja Nabhi became visible, he evinced all good qualities described by the great poets, namely a well-built body with all the symptoms of the Godhead, prowess, strength, beauty, name, fame, influence, and enthusiasm. When the father, Maharaja Nabhi, saw all these qualities, he thought his son to be the best of human beings, or the supreme being. Therefore, he gave him the name Rishabha. And purport. To accept someone as God, or an incarnation of God, one must observe the symptoms of God in his body. All the symptoms were found in the body of Maharaja Nabhi's extraordinarily powerful son. His body was well structured, and he displayed all the transcendental qualities. He showed great influence, and he could control his mind and senses Consequently, he was named Rishabha, which indicates that he was the supreme living being. Om Gyanti Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Mritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaham Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutare Svayarupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhisham Kripa Sindhu Vacham Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaham Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this description of Maharaj Rishabhadeva, he got a nice name. Actually, if you want to say to somebody that you're the best, you can say Rishabha. This is a translation from Sanskrit. Rishabha, it means best. So previous verse and this now describes that Maharaja Rishabhadeva, he was a very special soul. I mean, it was like God himself, but he had some special qualities, and all people could notice this by observing his activities. And he was full of these symptoms, like described here: well-built body with all and prowess, strength, beauty, name, fame, influence, and enthusiasm. Probably there should be many stories about his activities. I actually don't know them, how he exhibited these qualities. But in this chapter later will be described about his life, how he was living, and it explained about that he went to the Gurukul, he took the lessons from his guru, was serving him, and after when he finished his studying, he gave a dakshina. Then he went to the next ashram, to family life, and then all the time he was showing his very nice dedication to this process. Like whatever he does, he did it very nicely. Yeah. So it always like other devotees don't come to the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's always only because of me. Govardhan, they don't come usually. Okay. So yes, and just a moment. Yeah, like in one verse it explains that after Nabhi Maharaj departed for Badarikashrama, Supreme Lord Rishabhadeva understood that his kingdom was his field of activities. He therefore showed himself as an example and taught the duties of a householder by first accepting Brahmacharya under the direction of spiritual master. He also went to live at the spiritual master's place, Gurukula. After his education was finished, he gave gifts, Guru Dakshina, to his spiritual master, and then accepted the life of householder. He took a wife named Jayanti and begot 100 sons, who were as powerful and qualified as he himself. His wife Jayanti had been offered to him by Indra, the king of heaven. Rishabhadeva and Jayanti performed householder life in an exemplary way, carrying out ritualistic activities ordained by the Shruti and Smriti Shastra. And there was also one story about Indra, that Indra, like this, very often happens that he get envious of Rishabhadeva in this case, and he stopped to give a rain to the Bharatavarsha, as I understood. But Rishabhadeva, he was so powerful that he just can make rain by himself, and he made this so much rain came and just make all Bharatavarsha like in good condition. Yes, and Krishna come to this world by some different reasons, like we know from Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Dushkritam, and like he comes to kill demons and to protect his devotees. And Rishabhadeva in this case, he came and he was showing example, because he wanted to show example to people how to live properly, because he was a king and he have to rule, the kingdom, and he have to show by his example. It said also like in this purport to this verse, it said that one cannot teach others unless he behaves the same way himself. Rishabhadeva was an ideal king, and he took his education in the Gurukula, although he was already educated, because Supreme Lord is omniscient. Like God, he don't need education, but because of his mercy to all of us, like all the for the general population, he just do this like example to teach us that we have to do this. And he also accept the guru. Krishna don't need to accept the guru. He's a first like guru. From him all gurus comes, but he make this to show example to us, because it means that we need to follow this to get purification, to understand about our real self, about spiritual values. And although Rishabhadeva has nothing to learn from Gurukula, he went there just to teach the people in general how to take an education from the right source, from Vedic teachers. He then entered householder life and lived according to the principles of Vedic knowledge, Shruti and Smriti. And yes, and then he showed a good example how to have a family life, and it also was part of Varnashrama, because he wanted to like teach people Varnashrama that it's very important to go through these ashramas. I just forgot I wanted to notice something. Yes, about Gurukul. I mean, let's like nowadays we live in Kali Yuga, and this time is different. Of course, like devotees who born in a devotee's family, for them it's like more like they can easily from the beginning of life get this spiritual understanding, spiritual education, and then they can be prepared for like later to get take properly next ashram. But if we look for the non-devotees, like even me, like many of us came like in the age what is like not from the birth, and then we have to take this knowledge from the maybe like 20-30 years when we like in this age. But still it's very nice, because it's like give to us the basis understanding. But it's the best for children actually to go through all of this. I was reading recently some document about education. There's, I don't remember the name of one devotee who like involved with education in ISKCON, and he was sharing his experience how he see the children, because now like unfortunately in ISKCON we don't have so many gurukulas and this Varnashrama colleges where devotees can really get education from the devotees and be in association with devotees. Yes, and because we lack this, and devotees have to go to the standard schools, to universities. And this devotee, he was sharing his experience because he saw that devotees who for example after Gurukul, they have to go next to the college, And in college, they become more mature, like this age. They face different material desires, temptations, and actually they have to be around the people for whom fulfill these desires is not a problem. It's very fine to just involve all these sinful activities. It's not prohibited there. And when devotees come to to this place, it's also like it can be dangerous. And also he noticed that there is also subtle problems, like different different types of materialistic education, because they can challenge the history, like Vedic history, and this cosmology what we have here, and different aspects of our philosophy. Because if you're getting education from the university, they can give you different history, different understanding of this world, of life, what you have to do in this life. And because of this moment, this devotee, he explained about how it is important for children to learn Shastra in a young age. And yeah, of course, we know that in Gurukula they can learn Shastra, but then, I heard also this opinion that very important relationships, because when you have a good relationship, you have a good friends with devotees, you like to come for temple, to do seva, to make a nice kirtan, and so on, then more chances that you will be connected to the society of devotees. But he noticed also very much important that for children to learn Shastra, and there is even some devotees, they created very nice books, what is like even Srimad Bhagavatam for children, what is like different stories and everything, that help to them understand this knowledge. And yes, and because it's like spiritual knowledge gives to us this divya chakshus, we can see this world through the spiritual vision, and in this way we can be protected from Maya. Because when you go to this, the children go to this college, and they have all these desires and this association, what is not good. Like today in morning we read from Nectar of Devotion about two types of association, what is not good. Association with non-Vaishnava. First is who is after material enjoyments, and second is after like atheists. Mm-hmm. Yes, and of course we have to work with this. We have a good brahmanas, and these brahmanas have to become teachers. Of course, make puja is very important, but also very important to give education to the society. First of all, to the children of devotees, because by this we can more chances that everything will be developed properly, and then our society will also work nicely and can continue without just deviating and mixing with different material conceptions. Yeah, and we have many things to do. Give nice education, and this is a duty of parents to also to make sure that they send their children to some education, to get the knowledge by any way, because there is nowadays different courses, retreats, workshops, and all this can help to get experience, like spiritual understanding. Even I'm now doing Bhakti Shastri. I did before, but I didn't finish, and now I have to do again completely. And I can see that it works so nicely. And when you especially study together with a group and discuss, answer questions, it's helped very much. Because I even see that in some places, it's quite a personal education. I saw in Radhadesh, I think. I don't know detail, but what I read from description, how they do Bhakti Shastri, you just listen a lecture, what is online, already recorded, and then you just answer questions, but where you just select some options, and you don't have a group, you don't discuss together. It's also it's better than nothing, but I don't feel it's good, because actually when education is nice when you do it in a group, because if you have a homework, and then you have to answer the questions. You have to be ready to, maybe teacher will ask you, and you have to be ready to answer. Otherwise, if you don't ready, you can say, "Oh, sorry, I'm not prepared," and maybe you will not feel good. But if you're doing this just in personal education, just have to answer this, in a computer, just put these buttons, then maybe you don't care much to make properly homework and to learn all the structure of the chapter, answer the questions about why this so, and and also I noticed that when we answer questions, it's also very helpful because it's make you think. Because actually knowledge, there is three ways to how we can understand knowledge. It's Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. At first, Shravana, we listen, then we have to think, Mananam, and then we have to apply, Nididhyasanam. Yes, and if you just, for example, if you read books, what is also quite rare, not always we have time to nicely read Prabhupada books because of different reasons, some different gunas can influence us, different responsibilities and so on. But yes, when we read nicely, then we have to think about this. And when we actually discuss knowledge with other, actually, like we know from Bhagavad Gita, all these verses, like Tushanti cha, Ramanti cha. You remember beginning of this verse? Yes. Bodhayantas parasparam, kathayantas shamam nityam, tushanti cha, Ramanti cha. It's actually for devotees. It's meant that we have to discuss with each other the topics from the Shastra, from all the stories. We have to learn how to do this. And when we discuss this, we can also understand that how we can see how we understand this. Because if we don't discuss, we may read and we may not even understand what we have read, how it works. Is it maybe they're different, even we have some doubts, some different things. Yeah, it means we have to try just with each other, nicely discuss these things, read Prabhupada books together, not speak only about, what I bought, what I have to buy, how I went to hiking, how I went to, somewhere else. Yeah. What news happens. It's also can be discussed if we need this. But spiritual knowledge is most important. And Rishabhadeva, he was like example of the king, of the nice father. He had many good children. He was showing this example how to raise nice children. And first his son, his name was, what? Somebody knows? What's the name of his first son? Yes, Bharata. Actually, our Bharata Varsha name because of his son. Because before, from Maharaja Agnidra, there was 9 sons, and now they took these 9 Varshas from this Jambudvipa. And Nabhi, he was before ruling this Bharata Varsha, and it was named differently. I forgot that it was even not Nabhi Varsha, something like I don't remember. Yeah, and then because of Bharata Maharaj, this Varsha became Bharata Varsha because he was also very nice exemplary king, Raja Rishi. And other his sons got the other 9 Varshas. They were like Kshatriyas. And more 9 sons, they became renounced. They was traveling and preaching everywhere. They was known as Yogendras. In 11th canto, we can read this story about Yogendras. Maharaj Nimi was asking them questions about life, and they was giving very nice answers. Yeah, and others sons, maybe 81, they became like Brahmanas who was spreading the knowledge about actually it's about Karma Kanda. Yeah, everything make sense. Like even this Karma Kanda for many of people can be good to get some piety and become prepared to get instructions from these 9 Yogendras. And there is also a moment about Rishabhadeva. It's explained in the 14th verse from this chapter. Being an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Rishabhadeva was fully independent because his form was spiritual, eternal and full of transcendental bliss. He eternally had nothing to do with the 4 principles of material misery: birth, death, old age and disease. Nor was he materially attached. He was always equipoised, and he saw everyone on the same level. He was unhappy to see others unhappy. And he was the well-wisher of all living entities. Although he was a perfect personality, the Supreme Lord and controller of all, he nonetheless acted as if he were an ordinary conditioned soul. Therefore, he strictly followed the principles of Varnashrama Dharma and acted accordingly. In due course of time, the principles of Varnashrama Dharma had become neglected, like it happens every time. Therefore, through his personal characteristics and behavior, he taught the ignorant public how to perform duties within the Varnashrama Dharma. In this way, he regulated the general populace in household life, enabling them to develop religion and economic well-being, and to attain reputations, sons and daughters, material pleasure, and finally, eternal life. By his instructions, he showed how people could remain householders and at the same time become perfect by following the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. And here is nice explained about his activities, how he wanted to help people by showing example. And for us also, all this what we do, like when we get initiation, we become devotees, we follow these principles, and all this meant to us to realize about spiritual life. It's not just we, for example, get initiation and then we become not active. By some reasons we can get initiation first, second, and then it happens sometimes. Because actually all these things meant to us to become the servant of our Guru, because we have to follow his instructions and realize about what's best we can do for others, for this world, for our closest. And by taking responsibility, we just trying to follow this and become spiritually advanced and happy. And and now I can little bit shift to the Ishopanishad. I'm studying now Ishopanishad and Bhakti Shastri, and because it's connected, that it explains about this principle of Ishavasya, understands that everything belongs to God, and we have to use whatever we have for Him, and not to take what is not meant for us. This first mantra from Ishopanishad say about this Ishavasyam vidam sarvam, yat kincha jagatyam jagat, yan tena tyaktena bujitha, kasyat vitmat gritha dhanam. Something like this. You know better. And next verse say about that even by just a moment, I have to switch to English. One who acts in this way, he can live a long life, like notice 100 years, and in this way he will be very happy. It's Srila Prabhupada nice explains that human life is very rare, because to get this human life you have to go through so many speeds of life, and by becoming humans there is some specific duty for humans, because we have developed intelligence, and this is intelligent meant to understand about not only about material needs, like what to eat, how to survive, procreate, protect, but about something more. And and it said that we have to utilize our life for this. In Rishabhadeva, he was teaching about this, his instruction for his sons. In the next chapter, in 5th chapter, he explaining about the same principles. And then and it said also that this instruction from the Ishopanishad, they also very nice explain the Bhagavad Gita in the 3rd chapter, verses from 9 to 16. They explain about this, how you call this, about that we have to act for Krishna. Yagyartat karma no nitra loko yam karma bandhanai. If we don't work for Krishna, we become entangled, bounded by material laws. But if we work for Krishna, we become free. And yeah, it's our duty. Just we're trying to always serve Krishna nicely in our best capacity. And yeah, in this way we can fulfill our life very nicely. I mean, like in spiritual way. So, and Prabhupada was saying about this mentality that we have to be, mentality of a Brahmana. It's like we want to give to others. Because there is another mentality of the materialistic persons as a kripana, when you just want to live for yourself. You want to live for your material enjoyments. And Prabhupada, he was this example of a real Brahmana who was always caring about the benefit of others. He was, all this life, preparation before coming to the West. Actually, his attempts to serve his guru in the India, also he was printing this magazine, Back to Godhead. This also took for him like so much energy. He was printing himself, writing articles, trying to get paper, because there was when there was a war in India, they didn't have much paper. Not only in India, in many countries at the time, even Prabhupada, I was listening Prabhupada Lilamrita. It was also mentioned that even in England there was no much. Different governments, they have these problems. And Prabhupada, he wrote a letter to the government by asking that we shouldn't be limited by material, material consciousness, that because the need of to give to people spiritual knowledge is more important than our material considerations about this paper, because these people in government, they have material understanding about how we should use the paper, what is the best for our country, because they think, okay, we need to give people knowledge about this, about that, to make economics works, make politics works properly, to make some propaganda, But Prabhupada said that we have to think about the spiritual benefit, and he explained very nicely. And then the government gave, actually, they were agreed to give him this paper. But it shows that the determination, not just, okay, we don't have paper, we don't print this journal. Now it's raining, we don't go to Harinam. Or I have today hiking, I don't go to Harinam. It just can be different reasons. But Prabhupada was very determined in his service, and all his activity shows that how he wanted to spread this knowledge, because he saw that all the problems people face, all these wars happening, crises, because people have a lack of the spiritual knowledge, because leaders, they don't follow properly what's meant for people. They was just trying to do material progress, and because they don't have a spiritual understanding, they become like cat and dogs. And even nowadays, if somebody just reads sometimes news, we can see different problems, like different wars happening because of different reasons. Some were terrorists, then like Israel have to attack this Hezbollah, and then different tensions, like China creating so much weapons to be ready. To be ready, protect themselves from USA, Russia also. So many things, because actually people don't understand this principle of Ishavasya. Prabhupada nice explain about this in Ishopanishad, that when we understand that everything belongs to God, then we accept what's given to us, and we not how to say, we don't want to take from what not belongs to us. But when we don't understand, then we think about, I want more, or somehow or other somebody want something from us, and I need to protect. I have to make more weapons and be ready for anything. Yeah, and because of this, Prabhupada was very much anxious to spread the spiritual knowledge, and we have to follow his footsteps. In this way, we will be good followers, and we will get also benefit, because Prabhupada wanted that we all, he wanted that we all be guru. But guru is not only about initiated spiritual master, because we can be guru for our children as well, for our friends, for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching Yari Dekha Tarikaha Krishna Padesha Amara Agyaya Haya Guru Tara Ei Desha. Whenever you go, whenever you meet, just Yari Dekha Tarikaha Krishna Upadesha. You have to say about instructions from Krishna. And that's very simple, like even children can do this. Like in Prabhupada times there were some children of devotees, and they was just saying, you know who is Krishna? And Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And anyone can say this. But of course, when we if we can say more, we can say more. And we're trying to do this by our, because there's different ways how we can support this mission, and we're doing this nicely. So, also, there is an interesting moment about these varshas I wanted to discuss a little bit. It's because of this fifth canto explain about this our universe, about different higher and lower planetary systems. It's so interesting, but also it's so complicated to understand all this properly. If you try to think about this, it's so many different questions can arise. In ISKCON we have also many scholars who was very much into this topic, developed some materials, some videos about material universe, and we have Jambu Dvipa. It's we have many dvipas, which is divided by the oceans. This sugarcane ocean, liquor ocean, what's sweet rice ocean, no? What else? Palm. Maybe it's another universe. Mahakrishna Prabhu will go there to preach and get some parmesan from the ocean. So, and yes, there's different dvipas, and in the center we have a Jambu Dvipa. And Jambu Dvipa consists of the 9 varshas. In the center we have a Meru, this big mountain, and surrounded by 9 varshas. And Bharata Varsha is where we live. But I want to understand how you see, is Bharata Varsha is only India, or this is all our earth? Yeah, why? Can you explain?
Before here was no different countries. King was for all land.
Mm-hmm. No other countries.
Mm-hmm. Here was no grand borders.
Mm-hmm. And this king was ruling not only India, but Africa, Australia, America as well. Russia. Yeah, maybe.
Yes, there were other kings. There were different kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
It was ministers, but the king was one for all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also heard this. And also in this video, when I saw this video about cosmology, we can see that even it's interesting point about why our Earth is a sphere, not a flat. Because it's, if we just now we have a science and people like Elon Musk and different people going to the space, and there is many evidences that our Earth is not flat. Even we can see the sun is going down, like after horizon. Why is it so? If it is flat and so like in sun circumambulating around, I don't know why we sometimes see that it's going down the horizon. Yeah.
How it is not round, it's flat. How do you see it's round?
Huh?
How do you, when you walk, do you see this is round? How do you see this is round?
Yeah, of course.
I understand that earth is flat, it's not round.
Mm. But not everything what we see is right.
How do you say this is round? Can you explain? This is flat.
Yeah, it's flat here, but if you go more, like if you look more, but actually even scholars from ISKCON, they explain that our Earth is a sphere, because it will be too challenging to ISKCON to think that our Earth is flat. Of course, we accept that Jambu Dvipa and all this Bhumandala is flat somehow, because it's written that it's flat. There is like, 4 elephants who like in the end of this, they like balancing all this, and below there is Anantashesha, subterranean planets where is no sun, and higher planets what's above. Yeah, it's difficult to understand actually, but in the video I saw that they make this like we have a Jambu Dvipa and we have this 9 varshas, and it was showed that our Earth is located in this area of Bharata Varsha, like in Jambu Dvipa, but it's like round. It just like somehow it's like floating and rotating. Yeah, of course, it's like so complicated to understand all this, like why we see the moon, make different phases, and how it works, and yeah. But I just want to give you one thing about why Bharatavarsha is it India only. It can be also correct. Because Prabhupada in this chapter, in 9 verse, he says, the planet known as Bharatavarsha is purport. The planet known as Bharatavarsha is also called Punyat Bhumi, the pious land. At the present moment, Bharata Bhumi or Bharatavarsha is a small piece of land extending from Himalaya mountains to Cape Comorin. I checked in Google where is Cape Comorin. It's a South India. It means, Prabhupada explains that at the present moment, Bharatavarsha is a piece of land extending from the Himalaya mountain. We know where is Himalaya. It's the top of the India. And the bottom of the India is Cape Comorin. Sometimes this peninsula is called Punya Bhumi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given special importance to the people of this land. Bharata Bhumi Tihayala, Manusha Janma Yara, Janmas Shartakakari Kara Para Upakara. One who has taken his birth as human being in the land of India, Prabhupada say India, Bharatavarsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. Yeah, it's like, it's difficult to understand. I also think, is it Bharatavarsha is only India or is all our earth? But Prabhupada says here it's only India. It is like he says about this piece of land between Himalaya and Cape Comorin. But then it's interesting to know that all this, because different varshas, when we read from the Bhagavatam, actually in this canto will be explained about that they quite heavenly, because condition of life there, but actually there should be this Meru mountain. Where is it located? Maybe in Switzerland. Maybe somebody hiding it from us. But yeah, it's like difficult to understand. Mahakrishna Prabhu, you know? Can you give your...
Yes.
But what is your understanding about Bharatavarsha? Can you share it? Is it India? Is it our earth? Or how should we understand?
Bharatavarsha is the name that is visited the name of Ilavrita Varsha. The name of this planet was Ilavrita Varsha, and after the kingdom of Bharata Maharaj get the name of Bharatavarsha. But your description about the Himalayas and Karakoram, this is right also. This is astronomy that involved mathematical calculus and astrology for me. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's not easy. But actually, Ilavrita Varsha is a different Varsha. Ilavrita Varsha is a Varsha within the center, with a surround Meru mountain. Bharata Varsha was named before, I can say it. It's mentioned here. It was Ajanabha. It was named Anjanabha because King Napi, he was ruling, and in this land it was called Ajanabha, but after it was renamed because of Bharata Maharaj, like Bharata Varsha. In this chapter, it will be mentioned later about that because Indra, he stopped the rain, and Rishabhadeva, he made the rain himself, and it said at that time when he make rain, he covered all Ajanabha, because before this land, even during the reign of Rishabhadeva, was called Ajanabha. Only when his son came, Bharata Maharaj, it became Bharatvarsha. Yeah, it's like many things to understand. Of course, it's maybe not most important. It's like we have to just chant and become happy. But it's also interesting because this Prabhupada was inspiring many of his disciples to understand this knowledge from this canto and preach, because it's scientific knowledge. If you understand it properly, we can, inspire many people to accept Vedas. Because if they understand how it works, if really our scientists can prove about how our Earth is, sphere, and how all this happens, that maybe these astronomers didn't go to the moon, maybe they went to some other piece of land, like somewhere else, I don't know, Rahu or what it is. But also somebody said that they went to the Mars, and Elon Musk want to go to the Mars. Yeah, let's see what will happen. Okay, now it's time we're going to the end, and if somebody has some questions and some comments, please. Yes, Prabhu.
In New Vrindavan there was quite a topic also about fifth canto, and many children came and they had these classes for the children in fifth canto, and it was discussed how can you explain this in these days. It's rather meant symbolically and so on and so on. And then it was clearly stated actually that it is true, but we don't really understand how it is true. And it kind of helped me to overcome this dilemma of faith, because it was really very difficult. How can the scriptures say this, and then actually take the telescope and I look into the universe and I see Saturn and the rings, and how can that be true? So this wonderful Vaishnava sannyasi explained it is true, but we don't understand how it's true. And then we come these days and we see that one thing after the other that was like carved in stone is actually crumbling. Like science, is it really so scientific? Or has there been so much cheating? Like the whole understanding of the universe could very well also be different than what we have heard. Prabhupada clearly said they never went to the moon.
Yes.
I mean, he clearly said that. And there is actually very big evidence that they actually did not go to the moon. So it's like we probably see a lot of change in this thing, and if the earth is flat or not, it's explained, and in the TOVP they decided to make a universe which is the way it is written in the fifth canto, and not the way it is written in the science books. It is really it was a very difficult decision, but they said that's how we're going to do it. So for us as devotees, or for myself, especially. It was a huge dilemma.
Hmm.
And when Prabhupada came out with the fifth canto, I think 2/3 of the devotees left. He translated,
Uh-huh.
and when he came to the fifth canto,
Yeah.
and he published it, then I think 2/3 or 1/3
Really?
left,
Wow.
because they just lost faith. So it is a big impact. It can have a tremendous impact. But I found it so helpful for myself to say, well, give it a 50-50 chance, at least. Because it has been proven so wrong, what we always were taught in school, in university and wherever, has been proved so wrong, to be totally wrong.
Hmm.
So maybe all these other things will also be proved wrong, maybe not. But we can stay at this sentence and say, okay, it is true somehow, but we don't understand how it is true. And we forget the whole topic, but we go on.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you Prabhu, for sharing. I just one small thing. I just, I mean, like, yeah, we can have doubts about all these things, and yeah, especially like some people don't care about all this universal. It's just because we chant holy name, and this is our yuga dharma. And when we, by chanting holy name, we feel presence of Krishna, it can, give to us confidence that Krishna exists, and all Vedas is right. But we have to chant nicely. Yes, Prabhu.
To your point, I just want to add that we think here of space of traveling about 2 dimension, but what if you add a fourth to dimension, then suddenly from the fourth dimension, 3 dimension looks flat. So just by adding one more to dimension, the term flat can be flat or a sphere.
How it works?
And we just know to 2 dimensions here on this world, and if we just add one more dimension which we cannot see with our eyes, with our hands touch, then everything changes so quickly, and the term which we used to be flat or round suddenly has no real impact anymore. So for me, I can accept both, but it is that I'm not able to understand all the details, because I can accept if I just add one more dimension, so much more opens up, which I cannot handle it in my mind. And
That's a good one.
and we often say that there are like many more that there are many more dimensions which we cannot see, which we cannot understand. And for me, this is the key to accept the contradictions from the standpoint from where I now see things.
Thank you, Prabhu. Simple for simple, complicated for complicated. Okay, Yamuna, you have a questions?
Yes. So you were mentioning that we should educate the kids, and I mean, Radha and myself, we were just discussing about this kids program and how we want to educate them.
Jai.
And then I was wondering, like, so many devotee kids, they don't pick up Krishna consciousness very seriously, and even they leave Krishna consciousness in this way, of course not completely, but yeah. And then that you also pointed out how important it is that the kids should be educated. And are there some points that just come to your mind, or so that we can also communicate with the parents that show that this is actually important for their whole life, for their spiritual journey?
Yes, but communicate is one thing, another thing to give something, to plan something and to do something. No, I mean, like, yeah, many devotees can understand about this. It's important. We need this, but we need somebody who will do this, who will take these responsibilities, become teachers, make Yes, in different countries they receive different, like, exist different kind of gurukulas, like for children, where they can, at least for some young age, and be involved in this studying together with devotee teachers. Yeah, but we have to work on this. Just think about how to make it nicely. That actually Prabhupada wanted that we have gurukulas and varnashama colleges. That it can be done even, as I know, in Hungary. Shikshashtakam he's went, but in Hungary there is even, like, how you call this, accredited, like it's like you can get education at this university, and it's like you can get a degree what is like will work in your life. It's not just just only for devotees, but it's like it's in Hungary, I think it's Budapest. And as I know, in also second one in Europe is but this university is higher education. And the second one is in Radhadesh, as I know, they also, you can get degree in religious studies. Yeah, they have a few courses. Yeah, but we have to work on this and just try to make it more and more that devotees children, they will. Yeah, of course. First of all, that the parents should be good devotees, but still, because when they associate with non-devotees, it's very much chance that they will be, we can deviate. Because, like we read today in Nectar of Devotion, this Avaishnava Sangha is very dangerous. When you associate with atheists and people who is engaged in material enjoyments, and dangerous because of this. Yeah, of course, it have to be planned by seniors of our society, GBC, but yeah, local GBC have to try, inspire. But you can approach GBC and say, okay, I want to do something in this area, and what we can do, please give us instructions. Yeah, we have many things to do actually.
And I had another one. You were mentioning the Srimad Bhagavatam for kids.
Yeah.
Can you give more detailed information about that?
I can check. There is some book and some Mataji who just compiled this book. Probably maybe you know her name. You maybe remember. Probably she from US. I don't remember her name. She is like preaching, and she's traveling preaching, and also she has a book about for children, like Srimad Bhagavatam for children. Arutha. Yes, this is she. She was here. I think she was visiting Switzerland. He didn't come? She didn't come?
She homeschooled her kids.
Yeah, I think just Mataji. Yeah. Actually, I also read one of his document. Yeah. I can look and then give you something about this topic. But you can Google her name and see about her. Okay, it's time was.
I've observed from different communities that those who stay for a very long time, from children become initiated, basically taught philosophy and so on. But what kept them going throughout life is this connection to Krishna. This love, this inner love. There's a space that opens up, and here you just feel at home. Here you feel the power coming from. Is there anything that in this discourse that where you had this, like this Maharaj who ruled this, that he had this mission of have the people experience this God connection?
You mean that
It's just basically knowledge, But that big difference here?
Yes, I understood you. It's very important to get realizations. Do not only have this, like I mentioned, the Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, because studying shouldn't be only the first level, only Shravanam, listening. It should be go further. You have to think, and then you have to apply in life. And when you apply, then you can develop this love. Because actually, as I see, all these realizations, they're like also very much connected to the knowledge, because Krishna consciousness is like our conscious decision. When we're going through different phases of life and making choice to go for Krishna, to like serve Krishna. But to do this, we have to be very much conscious about what is good for me, what's not good for me, avoid bad things and accept good things. And gradually, by following all this Varnashava system, going to Sattva Guna, we can get this more and more realizations, and then we become free from the lower gunas, false conceptions, and this love will gradually more and more arise. And then we really can get some good realizations, which help to us to maintain our devotion through different difficulties. And I'm just see that the Shastra is like it's a basis. Without Shastra, of course, Shastra is like it's not only knowledge; it should go deeper and go to the love, to this nishtha and different and all this like stability. But it's basis, because when we don't have this, just some temptation comes, some desire come, and I say, okay, I'm this body, it's good for my body. But no, because I identify myself as this body in different levels of my mind, and I accept this. But because when we have Shastra, we don't accept this, we serve Krishna. Like happiness and three gunas, I wanted to mention this today in the lecture, I didn't, but it said that happiness, the sattva guna, when we, in the beginning it's like a poison, but in the end it's like a nectar. It's sattva guna, and like but in ignorance, people take happiness as like some laziness, sleep, and how you call this, madness. Yeah, this is what I can say. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay. Grant Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki Jai.
Die Angehörigen jetzt nicht irgendwie agitierst und nicht machst einfach das, was sie akzeptiert wird. Denkst du, es wäre möglich, ihn eine aber erst noch zu Hause. Für das Sohn oder für?
Beispiel von nicht so viel, also ich bin so unsicher, wenn ich dieses Ding saß.
Tutsi ist sehr so. Das ist echt auch immer. Man sagt dann ein Mensch, kann die Mama anders kommen, die halt so, kann man das nicht. Deswegen habe ich gesagt, es wäre gut, wenn jemand eine Tutsi Mama anziehen.
Was denke ich denn auch an meiner Schule?
Ja. Autöse ist ja, ist ja